When you're managing a project, you know that scope is everything. Hi, I'm Joseph Phillips. I'm the Director of Education for Instructing.com, and today I want to talk to you about scope. Now, I like to say that scope is everything. Scope dictates why we're doing the project. So what is scope? Scope is all of the required work, but only the required work to meet the project objectives. Scope is the reason why the business value that we are doing this project. Now, some people like to argue that, quality is everything. Well, scope is quality. Quality is the totality of an entity that bears on its ability to satisfy stated and implied needs, those functional and non-functional requirements. So quality is a conformance to requirements. Well, what are requirements? Scope. So scope and quality are synonymous. And then as we deliver the project, the thing that we create for the customer has to be fit for use. That also constitutes quality. Another reason why I say scope is everything, because scope balances with time and cost. If we imagine a triangle, an equilateral triangle where all sides are equal, across the bottom we would have scope. On the two opposing angles, we would have our cost and we would have schedule. There has to be enough money and enough time to create the scope. If my scope is this big and my budget's this big and my time's this big, not going to happen. Not enough time and enough money. And that's a great tool to use when we negotiate with our customers, with our stakeholders, about how much time and money we need to balance the things that are in scope. Well, in a predictive project, we're very averse to change. We want to plan up front. We want to predict exactly what it's going to be, so we don't want change to happen. Well, what about Agile? We know in Agile, like Scrum or XP, we expect and even welcome change. Well, in Agile, we take that equilateral triangle where scope is at the base and we turn it upside down. So scope is at the top, we still have our time and we still have our cost, but it looks like an ice cream cone. You can tell I like ice cream. Well, in that ice cream cone, we put things into scope. The most important things in this cone come here at the bottom. So this is what we are going to attack first. It's like eating your ice cream cone from the bottom up. So these are the most valuable things here at the bottom of the inverted iron triangle in Agile. So our scope, we fill up this cone, we fill up this triangle, and the things that are at the top of the inverted triangle are of less value, of less importance than the things that are here at the bottom. So I can do as much as you want me to do in an Agile project until we run out of the fixed time and we run out of the fixed cost. Where in a predictive environment, my time and cost are balanced. So if you increase scope, I'm going to need more time and more money. In Agile, if you increase scope, it's going to overflow. We run out of time and money. I'll always do what's most important in that inverted triangle, but I may not have enough time and enough money to do everything that you want me to do. One of the great tools that we can use in a predictive project is the work breakdown structure, the WBS. The WBS is we take our scope, all of the work and only the required work, and we decompose it. I like to say it's like Beethoven. For a long time, he was composing, but now he is decomposing. So our scope is decomposed into chunks of work in a predictive environment. So if we're building a house, we might have different chunks of work in this house. We have the foundation, we have the framing, the electrical, the plumbing, and all of those could be different buckets of deliverables. And then we might have the kitchen and the living room and the master bedroom and the other bedrooms and so on. the outdoor space. So those could all be different chunks of work. And then we could break those down again. So let's take the outdoor space. We have the landscaping and the grading, the pool, the lanai or the screened-in port. So we have all of those different components, those different chunks. And then we could break those down again and again and again. The smallest item in this decomposition of our scope is called the work package. The work package then correlates to the activities to create the work package. When our team will go out and they actually do the work, the labor to create that work package to make it a reality, all of the work packages get completed, which then we could roll up to the entire work breakdown structure is completed. And then when the whole WBS is completed, my scope is completed, it's of quality, and we have a happy customer, and we get paid. Now in Agile, it's a little different. We don't have a work breakdown structure. So in Agile, we have the product backlog. All of that stuff in that ice cream cone I talked about, the inverted triangle, that is the product backlog. The product backlog is owned and managed by the product owner. So the most important things get prioritized from top to bottom to the least important. And then the team, the Agile team, works together to say how much work can we do in this increment or this iteration of our Agile project. So we're always working on what's most important all the way to least important. In a predictive environment, we don't want change. We've drawn the blueprints, we've got the permits, everybody's signed off an agreement on this house. So if we have change in predictive, that can have a lot of ripple effects. Just one tiny change in our scope can affect our time and our cost, can introduce risk, more communication, and so on. In Agile, we welcome change. It's not a big deal to change. There might be some ripple effects, but those changes go into that product backlog and they're prioritized. So this could be a very important change, or towards the end of the project, it's of lesser value, lesser business value. So the type of project you're managing, Agile or predictive, has a direct effect on how change comes into the project and how you manage change. Both projects have scope. Both projects have a need for quality. All right, great job. Thanks for tuning in. I have more videos coming your way. In the meantime, I want you to keep moving forward.